Today is Thursday, October 13th. We'll tell you what to expect from what could be the final January 6th committee hearing, including some new evidence, and what to know about the largest defamation payout in U.S. history. Also, a major announcement expected today that could mean more money for millions of Americans, and which kids are now authorized to get the new COVID booster. Plus, Disneyland prices are going up again, how TikTok is chasing after Spotify, and why Elon Musk says he's now a perfume salesman. Those stories and more news to know in today's episode. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. Today, the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot is holding what could be its final public hearing. The hearing will be broadcast live across various networks starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're expecting never-before-seen evidence, as well as a sort of closing arguments type review of the committee's case against former President Trump up to this point, focusing on his state of mind and role in the effort to overturn the 2020 election. We're expecting to see new evidence showing Trump was repeatedly warned about the danger and violence that was growing in the crowds of his supporters, but that Trump chose to either ignore or play into it. Backing up some of these accusations are reportedly newly obtained records from Trump's Secret Service, including emails, that will be revealed today. Over more than a year, investigators have reviewed thousands of documents and interviewed more than 1,000 witnesses. Though The Hill reports the committee is not expected to release any information from its interview with Ginny Thomas. She's the conservative activist and wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. This hearing was originally supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, but it was rescheduled because of Hurricane Ian. Remember, the members of the January 6th House Committee cannot charge anyone with a crime, but instead they say it's mostly about creating a public record of the attack and to help make sure the peaceful transfer of power is never threatened again. You can watch live, and we'll have some of the highlights right here tomorrow. Conspiracy theorist and InfoWars host Alex Jones has been ordered to pay nearly $1 billion in damages. It's said to be the largest defamation payout ever in U.S. history. A jury decided he owes $965 million to 15 families who lost children in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, as well as an FBI agent who responded to the 2012 tragedy. 20 children and 6 adults died in the massacre. You'll remember Jones repeatedly called it a hoax. His followers then harassed and threatened the families impacted. Jones was found liable for defamation and the emotional distress caused by his lies. And during the trial, he acknowledged he had been wrong and admitted the shooting was 100% real. But on the stand, he added that he's now, quote, done saying I'm sorry. He's also criticized this trial as an affront to free speech. But legal analysts say the massive size of the award is a sign that jurors found his behavior exceptionally wicked and harmful. And this is on top of the nearly $50 million in damages he was already ordered to pay another family in an earlier trial. So just how much money the families and victims end up with in the end could depend on how much Jones actually has. Outside court, Jones told reporters he's nearly broke. He now plans to appeal the ruling, and he faces a third trial later this year. A rookie San Antonio police officer has been fired and now arrested after shooting a teen who was sitting in his car in a McDonald's parking lot. Earlier this month, 17-year-old Eric Cantu was with a friend eating a burger. Apparently, his car looked like one the officer tried to stop earlier but got away. That's when former officer James Brennan came up to the car, opened the door, and told Cantu to get out. In body cam video, you can see the teen appear surprised and then reverse the car. With the door still open, it hit the cop, who then started shooting. Cantu is still in the hospital on life support. The San Antonio police chief said that nothing Brennan did that night was in line with their training. He called the shooting unjustified. Right now, the former officer is facing 2 counts of aggravated assault, and that could change to homicide if the teen doesn't make it. The scores of U.S. college admissions exams have just dropped to a 30-year low. Results from the class of 2022 show their ACT test scores are the lowest they've been since 1991. Education officials call the drop alarming. More troubling is the increasing number of high school students who failed to meet any of the recommended standards for English, math, science, and reading. 42% could not pass one of them. Is the pandemic to blame? Education officials think so. But records also show ACT scores have actually been sliding downward for the last 5 years before the pandemic began. Education officials say the low scores highlight a bigger systemic problem with the U.S. education system, and some say the use of standardized testing for admissions. Students from rural areas and low-income families saw the biggest drop in scores. School officials are hoping to use this data to help reverse the trend. Well, children as young as 5 years old are now able to get the most updated COVID booster shot. Both the CDC and FDA signed off on it this week. The Pfizer booster is now available for kids 5 to 11. Moderna's booster is for kids 6 to 17. Although keep in mind, kids need to have had the primary series of vaccines first and can get the new booster 2 months after their last COVID shot. The updated booster is meant to protect against the Omicron variants as well as the original strain of the virus. Even though many Americans are tired of repeated calls to get boosted, White House COVID-19 coordinator Dr. Ashish Jha is still urging everyone eligible to get the new booster by Halloween, ahead of the holidays and a possible winter surge of COVID-19 cases. More news still ahead, but first, thanks to our sponsor, Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. So don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. With virtual interviews, Indeed makes it easy to connect with your applicants. No need to install anything extra. Indeed's virtual interview tool works from your browser. In fact, based on Indeed's U.S. data, most employers said Indeed's virtual interviews saved them days of hiring time. So join over 3 million businesses worldwide using Indeed to hire great talent fast. Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why when you sponsor a job, you only pay for quality applications from resumes in the database that match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/newsworthy to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/newsworthy. Indeed.com/newsworthy. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. With global inflation boosting the cost of almost everything we buy, something else is getting a big boost: Social Security payments. Today, the Social Security Administration is expected to announce its largest annual cost of living adjustment increase in 40 years. The increase is estimated to come in around 8.7%. The goal of the Social Security raises is to help those in the program, like senior citizens, afford rising costs. To put that 8.7% increase in perspective, though, between 2010 and 2020, the average annual cost of living increase was just 1.7% a year. So this estimated increase would be 5 times higher. So how much extra can the typical American on Social Security expect to receive? $144 more per month. Some 70 million Americans receive Social Security benefits right now. If today's announcement goes as expected, Social Security recipients can expect these larger payments to start in January. The happiest place on earth just got a little more expensive again. In what seems to be an annual tradition in October, Disneyland in California raised ticket prices in almost every category. In the last 5 years, the top ticket for just one day at one park has gone up 36%. It's now $169. Prices also went up for extra options like parking. The increases begin immediately. Disney's CEO has said that if demand for the parks keeps going up, prices will likely keep going up as well. The company is also getting ready to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Disneyland next year and is pulling out all the stops. It's planning new attractions along with updating the park, including its iconic Sleeping Beauty castle. You've probably heard of the social media app created by former President Trump called Truth Social, but you haven't been able to find it on phones using the Android operating system. Google hasn't allowed the app in its Play Store, saying Truth Social does not moderate its content enough, reportedly referring to things like threats of violence. But that has now changed. Google has approved the Twitter-like app. Reports say Truth Social has been working for weeks to update its policies so it could get approved by Google. Apple already allowed Truth Social in its App Store. TikTok's parent company is apparently chasing after Spotify and Pandora. The company ByteDance just started talking with music labels about expanding its music streaming services worldwide. The leap into streaming makes sense for TikTok. A number of little-known songs are finding audiences in TikTok videos and then exploding in popularity. Many have even made it onto the Billboard Hot 100 hits after getting a boost from the app. ByteDance already has a music streaming service available in a handful of countries around the world, but that's not including the US or Europe right now. They're working on expanding it. Nothing is finalized just yet, though. Elon Musk is in the electric vehicle business, he's in the rocket ship business, and now the perfume business. Yep, the wealthiest man in the world is now promoting a new perfume scent that smells like burnt hair. Well, it's called burnt hair, and its website describes it as, quote, the essence of repugnant desire. Musk even changed his Twitter bio to perfume salesman. This odd perfume scent is just the latest product in a line of joke creations from Musk that end up becoming extremely popular items. Musk released a flamethrower a couple years back that sold out almost immediately. Musk's burnt hair perfume is not some cheap gag gift either. One bottle costs $100. And already Musk says he sold 10,000 bottles in just a few hours. So that's a quick $1 million. But orders of burnt hair perfume are not expected to ship until early next year. Well, that's it for the main news. So now it's time for Thing to Know Thursday. But first, thanks to our sponsor. Doesn't it seem like white sneakers are the new uniform for pretty much everyone? I don't mind it. They go with everything, can be dressed up or down. They're comfortable and easy to walk in, and they come in a variety of styles. Well, Rothy's has amazing sneakers. Rothy's original slip-on sneaker even won Best Slip-on Sneaker from Self Magazine's 2022 Sneaker Awards. And Rothy's has 2 new classic styles that are sustainably made with recycled single-use plastic bottles. I already have a great pair of white sneakers from Rothy's, and no matter what style I need, when I want some new shoes, my go-to place is Rothy's. I can depend on them to fit well, be comfortable right out of the box, and provide styles I can wear with every season. Plus, they're machine washable and better for the planet. Get stylish shoes versatile and durable enough to wear all the time with Rothy's. And right now, you can get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/newsworthy. That's ROTHYS, rothys.com/newsworthy. Again, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/newsworthy. Now back to Thing to Know Thursday. Well, you should now have access to all of your health records electronically immediately. New federal rules took effect last week requiring healthcare organizations give patients unfettered access to their full health records available in a digital format, and to give it to them ASAP. The idea? Patients deserve more of their own data in a timely fashion. The law known as HIPAA has required providers turn over records if patients ask for them for a while now. But critics have said those requests were often met with delays, fees, and other obstacles, and that health systems and companies that sell medical records have too much say over how much data patients really can get a hold of. So supporters of the new rule say it offers needed transparency and gives patients more control over their own personal info. But not everyone is on board with this. There are still questions like, what does it really mean to give patients all of their data instantly? Every log entry, doctor's note, and email. And what about privacy? How do you make sure all the data is really going to the correct person? Plus, some critics say patients may get test results and diagnoses online before a doctor can explain what it all means, causing some unnecessary anxiety. Either way, experts say data sharing practices are still going to vary quite a bit right now as providers continue to learn about the new rules and adjust their systems to comply. All right, thank you so much for listening today and every day. If you get value out of the show, please consider sharing it. We are always so grateful. All right, we'll catch you up on more news to know tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.